G'day, welcome. Early Crow, episode 73. Brought to you by no one. You want to get involved? Email Praddy, which we don't know his email, and he's away today, so we're not going to know what to say there, but get in touch somehow. Find a way. T. Papley and I, we're going to run through the weekend's footy, both codes, a bit of out-wide stuff at Pakenham featuring Justin McInerney and Matthew Punts, Piastri, Scheffler, and then Ponies. Tom, how are you and how's the foot?
Good, mate. You started well with that pair. Episode 74 it is.
What did I say? 73?
Yes, told you 5 seconds before you started, but all good.
Apologies.
No, weekend was good. Good win by the boys on Friday night. Kicked off a very nice weekend. I started running last week, which is a step forward. Get on the grass this week and push towards back end after the bye, which is exciting. Long time out, but still a bit to go.
Running on the grass?
Yeah, running on the grass, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just checking. If anyone from Masadas listening that's running on grass. What a win Friday night. Steady, strong, gritty performance.
Yeah, it was big. Actually, before we probably touch on the footy, we might just mention the Selwood family. Heart goes out to them. Obviously, a very difficult time. If anyone is struggling, put your hand up, reach out to your mates, call a lifeline, whatever it is, because that family would be going through, I can't imagine what they're going through. So if you are struggling, reach out to anyone, they'll help you out. So I'll just sort of touch on that before we start the footy.
I think that's pretty important. It was a very, very rough weekend, even if Robert Wall's early, like Thursday night, which was tough enough, but then it's so sad, and you don't need to know anything about the person or thing. And it's just gut-wrenching. Our thoughts with them, and we might try and get around some type of cause moving forward that can promote, where you might want to go or need to go should you find yourself in a situation where you're looking for help. So a very, very grim weekend for football, but on the field, a glorious, outstanding win for the Sydney Swans. A season straighter, little straightener.
Yeah, it was. It was a massive night for the club. Friday night, you want to play well. Carlton, Martin Grook. It was a special night. We actually had Mickey O.
Yeah, I was going to ask about this. The bits and pieces I sort of picked up was there was a bit of a pre-game rev up, which might have gently gone off the rails a bit.
Yeah. How do you know about that?
I've got more sources.
It was good. I actually missed it, which is unfortunate. I don't even know what I was doing, but I had Mickey O in there and talked about the Indigenous culture and the tribes and how we're a tribe, and he sort of tied it all into the boys, and he got pretty excited, wound them up, and it was pretty good. And obviously throughout the whole week we did a whole thing, which is pretty good. We go and see all the Indigenous cultures from how they started back in the day, and the elders sort of bring it through to the younger people now. So it was a big week for the Indigenous culture and the club, and it was good to perform on Friday night for the club and also the Indigenous boys.
So the AFL or the Swans push you guys to get a deeper understanding and a greater knowledge of the Indigenous culture in this country.
Yeah, for sure. It is really interesting. I think any cultures, whether it's the Australian, bloody Sri Lankan, Indigenous, whatever, it's very interesting, and it's good that we do it, and you definitely need to be across it because there's some amazing stories down the lines for sure.
Any key takeaways, any pearls from last week's learnings?
Actually, the red fern, you might have heard of the red fern riots back in the 1990s or whatever, and that's where the Indigenous Centre is. So they mentioned that. I didn't really know too much about it, but now Redfern's obviously very wealthy sort of area just outside Paddington. So it was an interesting story. I heard about the riots and what they're doing now to sort of smooth what they did back in the day to sort of smooth the crime that was going on. So it was good to hear.
The boys got a rev from Mickey O'Loughlin, one of the all-timers at the Swans. I believe also a man that didn't do a lot of training, like a T. Papley on steroids, a Buddy Franklin, if you will, sort of like just looked after the rig, rocked up and delivered like game after game, year after year.
Yeah, he he's well known for that. He'd rock up on Mondays apparently, and the first session of the week was yoga, and Mickey O would rock up in his like pretty much rugged trackies, bring a pillow, and just sleep in yoga.
Smell like he had a big weekend.
Yeah, there's actually a story. The boys told it during the week. It was bloody good. It was his, I don't know what it was. Might have been his 200th or something. And anyway, Mickey O's carried on all weekend, and I was back in 2000, so 2001 or two. Roosie was coach, and he was like hungover, and I don't know, he'd been drinking all weekend, and he was sore and stuff. Anyway, it got to Thursday, and Roosie told Mickey O on Tuesday, mate, you're done. You're not playing this week. Just have a rest. We'll play some other kid. And he's like, yeah, right. Then it got to Thursday, and they have a team meeting, and Mickey O went into Roosie before the big team meeting to put up the team, and Mickey O's gone into Roosie and said, mate, I'm good to go. I'm good to go. And Roosie's like, mate, I've fucking told this kid like he's playing. He's like, well, I'll tell him. So then they have the meeting, and before he puts up the team, he goes, boys, I'm back in town. Such and such, you're out. I'm playing. Sorry, mate, but I'm back in town. I'm on this week. After not training all week, been on the piss all weekend, and then he comes out and plays well. I think he can want to kick 2 or 3 or something like that. But that's what was back in town. Yeah, BIT. I'm BIT, boys.
I remember. I don't know if we can use this or not, but I was at a house party once in maybe Paddington, like some big swingers. And it might have been an Irish footballer who made waves here and like sort of started it off and was a hard running Swans goat. Mickey O, maybe Reg Grundy.
He would have been young then.
There was like a 4 or 5 man crew, right? And they just roll into this house party. It's late. And I'm like the aura on Mickey O, like he was the alpha of the pack, and he just took over this house. Took over. I'd imagine that he would have been one of the absolute alphas of that footy club. And he's a great player. Like, I don't know which grand final it was. He couldn't kick straight to save his life, but he took grab after grab after grab in a grand final against West Coast.
Yeah.
Daniel Chick would still be like having nightmares about it. Stickiest hands all time.
He's what he was on the field, he's just as good off it. I'll tell you that much.
He's a big boy too. I saw him at the races. He's a giant.
Yeah, he's massive. He's got aura. He's a big man. Just always looking very sharp and nice. And yeah, he's a good man.
All right. This could be the episode. This is probably going to be called Sidetracked. We're now going to try and talk about the Swans game on Friday night for the 5th time. A famous win. It sort of seems to be a bit of a yo-yo at the moment, the form of the boys in the club. But back home, big stage, big game. Both clubs needed it, and you guys got it. Yeah,
it was good. We sort of started a bit slow. It was a bit of a weird game in that first quarter. We were a bit off, and I think Coxie might have got into it quarter time. The boys got going from there. I think Heaney was obviously massive. Warner was huge. Tommy McCartan down back was just elite again. That's 3 big weeks in a row where he stopped the forwards, and Curnow kicked 3, but he's kicked 2 from the junction.
He kicked 2 out of his arse.
Yeah,
and they were in as soon as they left the boot too.
Yeah. When he marked that one on the junction down at the Randwick end, I was like, oh no, this is his spot, and he's just rolled and kicked it. But I think, obviously the Heaney and Warner were elite, but I think everyone else was just played their part and did their bit. So Hamling was elite on Wiedering. Did his role there.
Rampy did a good job on big Mackay.
Yeah, Mackay, because we also had Francis go down. Rampy had to play tall. I think he had 1 touch in the second half. But yeah, it was a big win. Now we just need to put a few together and get the ball rolling. So Melbourne this week at the G, and look forward to that.
He'd be one of the like best ever defenders, like for being undersized.
Yeah, for sure.
Huge effort, I thought, Friday night. How's the Cruss going? And he was in a few incidents. It looked bad in slow-mo, but in football speed, I think he was just sort of going for the pill and then protecting himself. What's the result there? Do we know?
Yeah, he's got a week, accepted the week, which is unfortunate. And Amati's got 3, which accepted
3?
That. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a
that
couple
was the Cruss's fault, that one. Big Joel's just running straight lines, protecting himself. It's almost the AFL's going to get to a point where you guys have to like cop a broken rib and just expose them.
Yeah.
To not get a week. The guy his head's still going to hit your bones, but it's going to be your rib bone.
Yeah, it's sort of like an instinct thing to just sort of cover yourself up.
Yeah.
But the way the game is now, and it's unfortunate. Jolie was big again, like 2 goals 3, the big focal point for us. But it's another challenge for us. We've got Juzzy and Amati, but I think we might have Mills back this week. He was obviously got to get through training, but he had 20 and a goal and a half in VFL, which is not too bad. So that was good. He got through that, and he's be training this week. Hopefully, he gets smooth sailing and he'll be ready to go, I reckon.
What's he like around the club? Is he just like if you were in that position, knowing you now as well as I do, you'd almost be hard to be around. Like the Cruss would be awful to be around. Like you'd just be itching and revving, and like you just sort of say, "Calm down, calm down." Yeah, what's he like? Because he's been sort of held back and missed and had an injury or a setback for a long time now.
Yeah, he's a very different person to me and Justin, I'll tell you that much. But he's a lot more level-headed, very mature sort of bloke. As you'd see, he's the captain. But no, he was very excited on the weekend. I think when you haven't played for that long, and he just loves playing, obviously, and his family was there watching and stuff like that. It was just good to see him out there and actually play really well. I think no matter how good he is, he would have had a bit of doubt in his mind. It's like, geez, I haven't played this long. Just to go out there and have 20 and a half and kick a goal and get off and get through the game was big for him. So this week's even bigger, and keen to see him out there on the G where he'll love the wide open spaces, run hard, defensively, forward. He'll be good to watch.
What about our man Laddams, the digital data? He's he's becoming like really popular. You can tell, like as a Sydney fan, you can tell through time that like the commentators sometimes they don't know the lesser known players at our club and they don't really care, but like they love him. And then he did a big big swinger out of the air. Like, is that stuff embraced, or is he sort of like, does Coxie say, can you just try and bring that thing to ground?
Oh, I think it's just now it's known as, that's just pistol. But yeah, he's a funny man. Some of the shit he comes out with is just extraordinary. Like, I don't know why he just didn't grab it and kick the goal, but he's gone for the bicycle kick. If you actually see on his Instagram, I don't know if he's been thinking about doing this for a few weeks or something. On Instagram, he's edited some photo about a month ago, some video of a soccer player doing a bicycle, and he's edited his head on the picture. So I don't know if it's got something to do with it, but he's had a bicycle kick from the top of the square in an AFL game. I don't know, but who knows with him.
What do you make of? I thought young Cleary had one of the better games he's had for the Swans. He was competitive and made a difference on Friday night. Yeah,
he's good. He's a unit.
He's girthy, isn't he? Got like that sort of lower centre of gravity.
Yeah, big, thicky, like legs, big ass, fast, quick. He's fit. But yeah, he was good. Just loves playing his role. Just does the team things every week, and that's all you can ask from a young player.
And I just want an honest view on Sheldrick. He looks like a 150, 200 gamer to me. Just gonna like get in there and get dirty week in, week out. He'd sort of be held back a bit by James Rowbottom being so good at what he does. And then to finish with, how much grief did he cop for feeding the Cruss? And then on top of that, what price did you have the Cruss to kick that goal? Because I was fucking scared shitless for him.
Yeah, Gussie, it was a perfect night for him. He's a big bulldozer, loves getting his nose dirty, getting it out for the boys, tackling, contested brand, a little bit slippery. So, as you can see, he's a big thick. You don't want to be too fast of a game, but he contested player. He was really good. It was good to see him. He's sort of been building towards that. He's been a sub a fair few times, come on, played really well in quarters, but it was good to see him go really well all game. And yeah, he deserves his chance and he's taken it. And then, yeah, when he burnt Amati with that handball, I was like, oh no. And then his side just shanked it to Cruss. And
where were you sitting? What were you thinking?
I was thinking he'll be rattled here. He'd be thinking about, oh no, I've had a mare a few times, but straight in front, that's perfect for him. No angles, just straight in front, and he just put it through. It was good.
So you were believing?
Yeah, because it was straight in front. When he's on the angle, he's a bit off, but when he's straight in front, he's all right. No, it was good. Good to see him put one through.
I think he had about 5 or 6 or around there score involvement, Sheldrick, and probably laid like 7, 8 tackles. So
yeah, he's good.
He's a little bull. That's the Swans. Who we got this week?
Melbourne at the G, so on a Sunday arvo, which would be nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You coming down?
I'm not sure, doubt it. Maybe. See what happens.
Ooh. Might take Das.
Mm.
That'll be right. We're playing Melbourne, who suck. Oh, that's right. They're coming off a big win at the Gabba. Great. Full credit to us. We played Essendon, who were like on, who just had a week off against Western Bulldogs. Unbelievable. Speaking of the Bulldogs, are they the momentum team outside of Collingwood in the comp, do you think?
Yeah, they're good. They're rolling. Them and Collingwood are the ones rolling and just keep putting up the punches. Obviously, they had a loss last week against Gold Coast, but it's tough to win up there. Come back and do their job this week at the Etihad. So, yeah, I think Essendon were obviously a little bit off, but Bulldogs look a real deal, and so do the Pies.
What about the Suns? They're going to just sneak under the radar. They're going to finish like 4th, 3rd. Everyone's going to sort of still dismiss them because they've never won a final, and there'll be a different stage then. Where do you think they're at? It was a pretty good win against Hawthorn, who 2 months ago were clear favourites.
Yeah, good win. Like I said, they're very hard to beat up there. It was a very good game, actually. High scoring, I think.
Fast moving for slippery human conditions. It was just like slinging around. They look so like fit and strong, the Suns. Like I'd imagine if you were playing against, you're like, can you just fucking slow down for 5 minutes?
Yeah, they are. They're good. They're obviously well drilled with Hardwick. Been building for a few years now. Probably. What's Hardwick? Did Hardwick take over halfway through last year?
I think he took over at the big. Like he had him all of last season and now this season. I think.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So a couple of years under him. Sort of expected them to be around the mark, sort of in finals this year, but they're going well, and yeah, they'll be pushing for top 4 for sure.
Speaking of girthy, just like trucks in the midfield, I wonder if I've forgotten his name, but I wonder if he ate the grass up there in Darwin or not.
Rao, I think he did. They asked the question. I said, it's a bit moist compared to Gold Coast grass.
Trigger warning. Anything else in the AFL that caught your eye across the weekend?
Good to see North.
It was just like we said last week, I think, on the show, where you kind of, without meaning to, you're going for them. and you were just thinking, like especially they're playing Richmond. They won 3 comps or something. Like, they don't need it. Yeah. You want them to win. Pistol Pete, our man, was at the game.
He's a North fan, is he?
Yeah, and I was just fearing for him. Like, that is a dark, dark place if they lost and they held on.
Yeah.
I deserve to like about North.
Yeah, Zerha's. He was on yesterday, big thicky. Do you see he burst a blood vessel in his foot, and he's had to wear size 15 shoes to play.
And just did it.
Yeah, and he kicked 4.
Oh,
he's tough. I've seen the photo. It's pretty fat, but yeah.
Speaking of grim, Pakenham Thursday night. We personally, the boys and I, Paps and I, we bet up, courtesy of Lindsay Bowles in a 2-year-old race off the trials. Dust, no good. So I forced one, got it back. Then we had the Grumpy Bear, maybe it was called, which was a bit disappointing and ran second. Paps was like on a roller coaster of Pakenham love and hate, up and down, up and down. And then we sort of tapped out and just, I think we were enjoying the game we just spoke about, the Suns and the Hawks. That wasn't enough stimulation for Matty Punts or the Cruss, and they wanted to keep going at Pakenham, the Bermuda Triangle of form. And it was grim for Punts, who laid to Cruss the favourite, which, remember the name?
I can't remember the name. Race 7 or something. $1.70.
It was hovering around $1.90, $1.60, $1.90, $1.60, $1.70. The price that we ended up with was somewhere around $1.75, and it never, ever looked like losing. It was at inferior ground, and he didn't whip it, and the Cruss was up and about. I thought it was one of the more enjoyable things I've ever watched. Yeah,
it was gold. I had dinner with my old man, watching the footy. The old man, I wasn't up to date, but I got the voice memos and stuff later that night, and geez, it was funny. And then they've rolled it into the Nuggets the next day, and then they've rolled it into $1.35 pop that when Jazz mentioned it was $1.75. So they've had, I don't know what on, but yeah, they
apparently that horse sat like 3 or 4 wide at Werribee and just won.
Yeah, would have been a grim watch.
But good, full credit to the Cruss. He handled Matty Punts as he should have, but he didn't sort of
Didn't take his money.
Didn't take the glory and didn't rub it in his face. He found a way to unite them again, which they need to be and they should be. And yeah, they're in the NBA. They're into the ponies. I don't know where it's ended, but yeah, that's Cruss and Punts, and that's what they normally do now on a Thursday night. Sunday was interesting. Small world stuff, Tom. I couldn't believe this. Talk me through your connection to this family that I've just got to know, who are now, their parents at my school with Das. So Das and their son, I don't think we'll say their names maybe, but they're tight. And to get a push for the character of them from you was huge.
Yeah, it was good. Used to coach me at Bunyip. We say his first name, Cal. But yeah, won a flag with him. Played.
So he could play a bit.
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah, tough. He's actually got tunnel vision. Like he's got glasses, and he used to play with so he can't see like outside that.
Really?
And he's a fucking gun.
What was he? Midfielder?
Yeah, forward, midfield, like takes hangers, was hard as a cat's head. Very good. From Doveton, and then he played me. It was 2012, won the flag. Then we lost the flag in 2013, lost a granny, which we should have won. And yeah, very good. Played me when I was only 16. Sort of threw me in the deep end against the bottom side, and I sort of held my spot, and the rest is history. Very, very good man.
It's a good. The big positive for me too is I when I've met him, I put together a little syndicate and I chucked them in, and I was telling him about it, and I thought this guy gets it.
Yeah.
And I came home and told Emma, I said, this guy gets it. He's good. This guy will be good. And I was right for once. I often get that wrong. So, yeah, very, very, very small world.
He said he texted me yesterday, and he's saying, I might have to do the Friday pickups and get the mail off Dicko before the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's weird. Like, it's very weird for me if I meet people socially, like explaining what I do,
Yeah.
Without sort of
because it's all
get judged.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, yeah. It's sort of.
But he'll understand why I was so sick. Like I remember now, just come to me. Like he had a horse trial the same day as Katsu. He thought he might have, and I'm like, yeah, I know the horse. Yeah, I trialed this morning, went pretty well. Like, because I'm sick. Like, oh, I did it. Anyway, small world. Let's move on to rugby league. Sharks and the Storm. I don't know if you watched it. One of the great games, rugby league in the Shire, packed house. Cronulla turned up. The Storm coming off an absolute walloping of the Tigers. It was very, very good football, and there's a like if you played for your team, you love him, but if you didn't, you'd hate him. Ronaldo Molitalo. I love him because he's a Supercoach side and he scored points, but there was some action late, some hits, some yap and some chat. Good rugby league is very, very good to watch, and I think that the Sharks are half legit. Tricky Trindle, the 5'8's given them just what they need to complement Nico Hines, and they've got that enormous, like, literally tank up the middle, whose name now escapes me. He played for Manly, he went to the Warriors. Yeah, it's massive, got tats, wears number 8, very hard to stop inside the 10. He just trucks nut. Like, they never ever stopped him. They always, like, catch him and try and slow him down as they bring him down, but he gets another 5 or 6 metres post-contact. He's huge. Anyway, that was rugby league. I thought was really, really good across the weekend. The highlight was probably... Try and say his name for me, please.
No, I don't even know. I don't even know his name. I don't have it
in
front of me.
Supercoach side.
Jeez, it was good, though.
Unbelievable.
Do they have a try of the year in rugby league? It has to be.
Yeah, and it's all over.
Yeah.
Noah Kantawas, the Roosters winger or centre, outstanding try. It was a great weekend of tries. Did you see Coates' try?
Yeah, the hanger.
That was a hanger.
Yeah, it was proper, wasn't it?
Poor little Sharks fella, like she just sat there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the great tries of all time we saw there in that game. The football rugby league's getting hot because Origin's just around the corner. Starting to see it sift in. There's a few. I don't know how far away it is, but I can't tell.
Seen the team lists are out.
They're out.
Yeah, they're out. Yeah. I'm
Proper
just
team list? I always feel like it's just like content lists.
I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure, Blues confirmed their squad 8:30 last night.
Oh, hang on.
I'll go through it now. Dylan Edwards, 1. 2, Brian Toto, Stephen Crichton, 3, Latrell Mint, 4, Zach Lomax, 5, Mitchell, 6, Mitchell Moses, 6, Nathan Cleary, 7. So they've gone with the 2 halfbackers. Mitchell Barnett.
Yep.
Reece Robson, 9. Payne Haas, who's actually got injured on the weekend, which is a big miss. Liam Martin is a gun in State of Origin. Angus Crichton, Isaiah Yeo, who's the skipper now. Not what's the name?
Jake Travojevic.
Yeah, he actually didn't get a gig.
Oh, Laurie.
So he's a big
Oh, Laurie.
He's a big out. Big.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Connor Watson, 14, Spencer Lenu, Hudson Young, Max King, Campbell Graham, Stefano Utakamananu, Hamal Alakatu. That's the
Olakawatu. I know that one.
So that's the 20 that I can see on the Sydney Morning Herald for the Blues. I can't see the
Queensland side.
The Queensland side.
Queensland would have picked Jake Travojevic. They stick fat, and it serves them well.
He's just like just a fabric. Like gets him going. Like has a crack for him.
Culture stuff.
Yeah.
Queensland side, interesting already. Wow. Kalen Ponga, fullback. Xavier Coates, Robert Tioa, Hamasai Tiabo Fidao. That's the hammer. Valentine Holmes, Munster, Cherry Evans, and captain. Moiki Futiaka from the Titans. He's a big nut trucker. Harry Grant, Tino Fasuliyama from the Titans. Massive meter eater. Ruben Cotter. See, that's like a half out of form Jake Travojevic pick, though. Like, he's just heart and soul Queensland. Jeremiah Nanai, Patrick Carrigan, Adonis. Dearden, Lindsay Collins, Beau Firma, Trent Liero, Kurt Mann, Jesse Arthurs. Jeez, I hope they play him. And another bloke's name I'm not going to attempt from the Dolphins. Wow.
Game 1, May 28th. We've been through the list. Massive in Queensland, Suncorp Stadium. What's that? Next week?
Wednesday week, Suncorp. The Cauldron.
8:05. And then they'll go to Perth, Game 2 on 18th of June. And then the New South Wales, hopefully decider, at New South Wales.
Is it out at Homebush?
9th of July, Accor Stadium.
Is that Homebush?
Yeah.
Grim for the Sydney punters, but we've got to fit everyone in because it's going to be packed.
Yeah.
Oh, State of Origin. So that's Wednesday week. So consider next week's episode pretty heavy in the Rugby League and State of Origin sort of gear. Where should we roll to next? We'll skim over probably Oscar Piastri had a bit of a plain Grand Prix in Italy. He started on pole. He got taken on the first lap by Max. Pit stop error from his team. He ran third to Norris. Max won. Hamilton beat Charles Leclerc for the first time in the Ferrari, but a bit of a dot ball weekend really for Oscar Piastri in the F1. Scotty Scheffler, I don't know if you watched much of it. I was lucky enough to just have the perfect sort of time zone where I'm up with the kids. They've got ABC Kids on, and I can just watch this and enjoy it. It's like a video game when this guy's on. He's significantly better than the rest of them when he is on. He's won 3 majors now. I reckon, top of my head, like by 3 or 4 shots, 4 or 5 shots, and 5 and 6 shots.
It's crazy.
Like, this was over when he was going up like 13. John Rahm put up a big fight early. Couldn't sink a putt to save his life. Then he went for the 17, which is tough. Like little draw into it. Popped off the edge into the piss, and that was it.
That was it.
He's unbelievable, Scotty Scheffler, a man of the Lord, and God is really looking after Scotty. He's a freak. Do you watch any of it?
No, didn't see one shot actually.
Where's your golf game at?
Well, I haven't played. I was meant to play today in the pissing down rain. The weather has been so bad here, like just so bad and cold. It's unheard of.
Beautiful here, very cold here, but beautiful, sunny. I know where my game's at. It's right where I want it. 12 or 10 points front nine Friday, 20 on the back. Yeah, think I sort of found where I'm at, and look out. I really wish I had more time and money and I'd just come up there and take some of yours. Ponies, eyes on?
Yeah, eyes on ponies. Another provincial Saturday meeting for the New South Wales punters, which is the last of it this weekend, back to Royal Randwick where it should be.
What does it do to your turnover?
I tipped 3 horses on the weekend. I actually only backed race 4.
The track sort of made the other 2 bets pretty impossible.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just. Well, when was it? It was at Hawkesbury when I dipped the toe in.
Well, you didn't really. Well,
yeah, I dipped the whole foot in.
Like everyone said, hey, why don't you dip the toe? And you said, fuck it, you just jumped off.
Yeah. And then I learnt my lesson, and yeah, I only had 1 bet on the weekend. But yeah, it was on pace. And yeah, you didn't want to be worse than midfield. In the last second last, they sort of went along and they sort of made ground, and the 1800 metre race. But other than that, you didn't want to be worse than midfield. Lanes 3 to 10, but yeah, it was another dot ball meeting. I think
it was a dark day. It was a dark day overall. We flared up, mainly me. Went north, went south. We went to Adelaide. We went to Doomben. Didn't strike a blow at Doomben. I thought we were away early with Pisces. Like, it looked like I was going to win.
Yeah.
And then it didn't sort of let down. Maybe inferior ground, but very disappointing, I thought.
Yeah. Money come as well, didn't it?
Sorry?
I think money might have come for it as well.
I can't get over J-Mac and Sunshine in Paris. Like, very testing track, random track. Rothfire jumps out of the ground and J-Mac's still too good. Sunshine in Paris, and they went like it's a big number. Good horse. Peach. Adelaide, Morphettville, P-Rats flared up, found Iron Velvet, whacked 2.5 units on it if you don't mind. It didn't even jump. Like, it wasn't in the race. It wasn't on the screen for a bit. Then all of a sudden it's trucking up with its head on the side and just pulling through the line, but the race was already over. That was grim. Don't know how we didn't win the first bet in Adelaide. I thought it was winning. Got done by like $100 shot that Lindsay tipped, which was just insult to injury. The sheets had it like $40 too, so I probably could have, should have. Yeah, and then Flemington. My God. The worst day I've had gambling, at least this year, in memory. In a sick way, it's actually kind of exciting because you can go back and sort of dive through stuff and maybe find something and learn a bit. Because for the last little bit, it's been pretty sort of cruise control. We had a dark day. Started just a lot of cowardness too. First winner, I marked at $7. It jumped 17s. I don't have a cent on. High vol, 230 out to like 330, up in 3 kilo negative swing on key rivals, pisses in. That was Yaldi, Calcallo. I don't know how Calcallo got that far back, but it did. It looked like it was still going to win. It didn't. Bunch finish. We're on 2nd and 4th. I make title fighter $51 or $41 under its price. Let the race go because I'm scared of King's Effort because I was a coward. It wins, pays $110.
Oh, that's great.
And that's when Brady and the Dim Sim King starts to sort of get a bit of lead in the pencil because we're off to a very big start in the quaddie. I got a little confession too about the quaddie. I just had this sick feeling about Macram that I actually had it in a quaddie.
Like solo.
When I put it on, I just I clicked it. I was like, fuck, I better have that in just for my mental health. So I've missed a 160k quaddie by one leg, and I ran 2nd in that leg, and the winner paid $30, and I was on the horse paying hundreds.
That's cruel. And then in the last, you should have backed Liberami, but you were a coward.
It sounded like you did. Did you?
I actually didn't. I didn't have many bets on the weekend at all. Really, I had a few of yours, but I didn't stake as highly. I turned over about 20% less than I normally do. But yeah, it was sort of a good day too, in the end. But yeah, I was thinking about having a crack at Liberami, but I was just over it by then.
I probably turned over about 80% of what I normally do, unfortunately. But I also turned over about 400% of what I normally do out wide. And didn't strike a blow. It was a dark day.
So you bet the when you Queensland stuff a little bit as well, did you?
Yeah.
You got a little bit back Sunday though.
A little bit
More of it.
God shined on me. He said, "Hey, keep your head up and keep punching, man." And I did. I got up early. I did the work, did the form. 5 out, 15 back. Everything I lost on Saturday, I got back on Sunday, while being an assistant to my beautiful wife hosting our son's 6th birthday. So it was very busy, and I was just keeping a little eye on the little pingers were going. Not the pingers, calm down if you're out there, Saga. The little pings were going off on my phone. About to jump at this race and blah blah blah, and just turn on the side. And it's also, it was just a great way to finish off it. It was a great way to finish off Sunday because it was a tough day. Up early, you should see my hedging out the front too, by the way. Unbelievable. And then hard rubbish, which was grim. But thank God for sale. Thank God. What was that horse called? Turla.
Yeah, got steamed.
Won well.
Nice.
Prices were elite. They had lane changer, first winner. But I dogged them all anyway.
Because I think, yeah, it was a nice little day though for a Sunday.
Sundays at Sale are good.
Sale's a good track though, just big spacious track. Usually all right.
Big track, small enough fields, everything sort of gets its chance. If you like one, you get a price. It's also fascinating at the moment. I don't know if they're doing it in Sydney, but down here, the Saturday meetings still as it was, but the Thursday, Friday, Sunday meetings, they didn't go up any prices anywhere at Sale until 9 a.m. on Sunday.
They're it's actually a bit of a talking point around the industry. What would you rather?
Me personally, I love it.
Yeah,
because it
9
gives.
a.m.
Well, exactly. You do your own version of what I've sort of taught you.
Yeah.
What I've learnt from failing and learning is we take our time and build an opinion on a meeting. So the longer we get to sort of get to that point where we're confident enough, I love that. I hate if you and I start pricing Wednesday meeting after this show together, there's like a bit of an anxiety rush, like to take that price.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to miss the price. I love that it comes out late, but it's wrong. Because it kills content, and it kills turnover, I guess,
Yeah,
but it's changing. Sure. I hope it stays how it is, but I don't know what'll happen.
I think it's all the bloody. You got to be bloody quick to get on early anyway. All the robots and the blokes that sit there know exactly time take the price anyway. So it's tough to get on early.
I would guess that's why they're doing it to try and avoid those people and things and syndicates. But I would guess pretty confidently that it's not smart for them that way, because when they all go up, there's going to be more opportunity for those guys to get on. Yeah.
Well, in Victoria, or is it New South Wales, the big boys can't get on till 9 a.m. anyway, can't they?
Yep. Yep. So, I don't know. What about Basilina? You've got some family friends in Basilina.
Yeah, the
big
Ridgies.
Day, big win, big fat number.
Yeah, it's good. Loves it soft. They were thinking about selling it not long ago, I'm pretty sure. And they've kept it. That's what I think Ridgie said to me. But it was big win. Loves it soft, does it? And just got through it very nicely onto the cup. You'd think they'd go for the cup with that, wouldn't you? If you got I don't know if it's good enough, but if you got a ticket to the cup, you
she's
take it
a
every
very
other
smart
way.
woman, and she's, from like my limited exposure, like pretty confident and fearless. I don't think she'll just do what is expected, but I know the stable will definitely want to have a runner in the cup. So
it wasn't not their colours though. They're in the they had a couple in the first race.
Yeah,
Untapped.
Zach Spain rode one. It's Untapped maybe.
Yeah, and there was another one, but I don't know what colours are those ones Basilina's got again. They're
They're
like
light
baby blue,
colour.
navy blue with the sash, dark blue sash. But Yeah, it was exciting for him. He cheered at home, the young Ridgie.
Did he?
Sent me a Snapchat. Yeah, it was funny.
Black Bookers for me from Flemington, 3 of them. Here Comes the Star, flying. Pistol loves it from the yard, big rap,
Really?
which is rare this time of year from the great man. Calcalo can win again, and Matthew was very good in the last there behind Liberami. So right stable to improve through a preparation and doesn't need to do a lot of that because it was enormous there first up. The last thing we'll probably talk about is Friday night. Now, we've done the Swans, but there was another big event for the boys there Friday night. We had 2 runners at Cranbourne. 2. Both started favourite. Both ran second. The first one was taken on by a horse called I Miss Margie that I may or may not have overheard the connections basically like demanding that he goes to the front. So poor old Jet Stanley spent 800 metres of a 1,000-metre race just begging this horse to go forward. At which point, at the 200, it decided I've had enough and stopped. Where to go around it, and probably cost us winning. Frustrating, intelligent, no. But you do you. You got a runner, you ride it how you want. And then we had Grouse Mountain 2 races later, started favourite and well backed. Jeez, it makes me anxious when they're back like that. And Carleen Heffel decided to sit just outside us in our space the entire way, until she got to the corner, where she decided to come into our lane and on top of us, almost caused a fall. I was really happy and surprised that our horse didn't. She somehow sustained that incident, gathered herself up, and pinged at the line just to get run over late by a very sharp horse. And I think that horse would have gone close to beating us however the race was run. But it's about as angry as I've ever been on a racetrack.
I'm just watching it now. I haven't seen the replay.
Just watch her drop in on him down the bottom of the corner. It's very dangerous and dumb. She got 8 meetings. I thought it would have been like 30. It was bad, man. And then on the way home from that, when I still hadn't calmed down, I'm listening to the Swans. And I reckon that's when they were just giving it to Sheldrick's kick.
Oh.
And I'm listening to the radio. I care deeply about Juzz. I want him to go well, you know. And I was just driving and going, fuck. I was in my McFlurry, Oreos, M&M's, Biscoff, all in one. I only got one this week. Didn't want to tempt myself and have another one on Tuesday after it's been in the freezer all week. Anything else we should roll over before we wrap episode 74 of the Early Crow?
That's it, I reckon, mate. Good episode. Covered all bases. Footy racing, NRL, bit of state of origin, golf. Good episode, and probably finish on, if you are struggling, reach out, lifeline, your mates, and look after each other, because life is precious.
100%. Hope you enjoyed the show. Gamble responsibly, and we'll be back next week with a lot of Origin flavour, and of course Eyes on Ponies across the weekend, where we are committed to betting nice and wide. We'll be playing Doomben, we'll be playing Adelaide. I don't even know where else, but we're definitely going back to Royal Randwick. Paps is pumped to get back to a metro track on a Saturday. Have a great week.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.